Test, test, 1, 2, 3. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. Let's get started. We got the live stream going. Make sure that it is titled correctly. Okay, this is going to be day number 9. Yep, day 9. Building the X-Copilot servers. So, guys, we're going to get. It's been a couple of days. We took a small break. We still have been working on Mergestorm and on X-Copilot in the background. We still have been working over the weekend and making some pushes. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. Today is Tuesday/Wednesday, depends on where you are. We got some coffee, we got some water, we're ready to go. So let's just get back in the zone, see what's going on. I'm gonna go back to my Firefox so I can just take a look at what's going on with the repo, where we're at. And let's kind of get back in the groove. So we're gonna, let me lower my camera. We're gonna be doing this for about an hour, give or take, maybe 30-40 minutes. So we're just gonna go over a couple things, see where we're at and what's going on. So looking at our pull requests, some of the closed stuff, as you see, we have been doing work 14 hours, 16 hours ago. We have been pushing some work. Actually, before I do this, let me just test and make sure that audio is actually working on the stream. This is day 9. Yes, looks good. Okay, guys, so we have the audio working, and I'm gonna make sure that we are good here, and we're gonna get started. So today, there's no like real plan. I just want to go over what we've done so far, maybe do a little bit of research into our current architecture, see how we're doing, and kind of go from there. So again, X-Copilot, if you look it up, this is the X-Copilot here. We added a dashboard activity, actually. We do need to merge this. So before I even show off the product, let me just go back to the PRs here and see what's going on. So we have a couple of closed PRs, stabilize start scout as a full width control, a little bit of UI polish, exclude configurable triage tags from curated. So we also added a cool thing in the settings tab here. Man, I really need to fix this border in this hamburger menu. You see how it's not centered? It's like line bottom. Anyway, we have the settings here. This also needs to be fixed. So this is a small thing. So we added a couple of new things to the settings. Again, every time I open X, don't get me wrong, I like X. It's a nice social media platform. I like to open it up when I'm just trying to scroll through. It's better than a lot of other platforms, and especially when you can connect with people. But the algorithm drives me crazy, guys. The algorithm drives me crazy, especially if I open it in the mornings. I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's just every other post is some engagement bait or some sort of farm. And so that's why we built the X-Copilot. I can't even use X myself after using the X-Copilot because it's just my criteria essentially. So we have added a couple of settings. So X-Copilot, that whole idea is it does scouts for your scouts X threads by searching through X via some keywords. So it's not related at all to who you follow or who you interact with. It doesn't care. It just searches based on the search terms and finds some good threads for you. It uses DeepSeek V4 Flash to triage the comments, to triage the threads or the comments and surface only good ones. So we have a couple of things here. We still need to maybe add some options. So a couple of things we added here. First of all, we said we're not going to surface, we don't care about long threads. Why would we read long threads? We do not want to read long threads because attention is sacred. It's our currency. We have time, we have attention, where we put that time, and we're not going to just read 500, 600, 700 word articles just to, that's likely AI slop. So not interested. Max character 480, drop X articles, not interested. Articles, dedupe accounts I've interacted with. Again, there's millions and millions of accounts on X. Do we really have to continue to interact with the same accounts? That's what happens when you just scroll on the For You page or whatever. You keep seeing the same accounts, so you keep interacting with the same accounts. And that's what happens. You throw interactions, but you're not getting any growth. Why? Because you're stuck in your own circle. So we're not interested in interacting with people who are already in your circle. I mean, yes, we could do that when you're scrolling through X, but this is specifically for growing your network. So we go ahead and remove that. Preferred language, again, sometimes we notice that the thread that it ends up, actually this is a small polish It bothers me. I'm just gonna do it right now. So I'm gonna take a screenshot here. Let's go back to cursor. Let's go to the correct cursor. Oh, here. Sorry about that. We're gonna go get to the correct cursor. I'm gonna go ahead here and open up a small issue here for the PR for the settings because it's this drop down is the default drop down. Come on, guys. We gotta do better than that. So we gotta fix this. Cool threads. Okay. And the excluded tags we can figure, but this is just a very small polish. Might as well just get it out of the way. It's not going to block anything. Please open an issue. Okay, I got to make sure I'm switching correctly. So I'm telling cursor here to open an issue and make a small focused PR. I guess I could just do this voice chat. Please go ahead and open an issue and create a small focused PR. On the settings page, the language drop-down is still using the default browser settings, and we need properly formatted so it matches our style. Please go ahead and open the issue and open a single focused PR. Please and thank you. Right, you guys know the please and thank you it makes the model 50% smarter. And also, if you say nice and easy at the end, it's also going to be 10% faster. All right, so we got this out of the way. We're just going to let it churn, do what it's got to do. Let's get back to the task at hand. So this was just a small thing that just kind of bothers me, and I should have handled it. But yeah, I don't ever like to do the default browsers UI. Come on, guys. So anyway, preferred language English. Obviously, you can change this, and if you are, if you're wanting Spanish or Russian or French or Hebrew, whatever you want, you can switch it up. But we just want English. Again, this is one of those things where we surface a couple of threads and they were not even in English, and I was like, come on, we need to, at the very least, make sure it's in English. So that's kind of basic stuff. Cool threads is how many threads does it actually get per, it reset because it's doing updates, so it's going to kind of reset sometimes. So, and also this settings page looks so weird. Why is it only on the left side? Why isn't it just a full-on page for settings, So because it's like a modal or a route that it gets pushed, that's another thing we can fix later. Because it's just better to maybe have a /settings or something nice and simple. So that's kind of it. The last thing I wanted to mention is the excluded tags. So this looks weird. Why are we excluding supportive engagement? I'm not saying supportive engagement is bad. In our case, we're not interested in this. Why? Because if it surfaces a thread where a guy is just saying, yes, good job, this is such a good product, there is no way for us to interact with this. What are we going to say? Yes again? We're going to say yes again? No. So we're not going to interact with this. So let's just restart this. I'm just going to refresh and start. Actually, before we do this, let me go back to our PRs. We have some open PRs. We have one that's getting open, but we also have two that are done churning. So this one is add interaction activity stats bucketing API. Right, so this is the dashboard that we added. If you look at the, it's reloading, so it's definitely going to blind me. So looking at this PR, it looks pretty clean. It's about 300 lines. Oh, this is part of a stack. So if we merge this, it's not going to go merge into main. It's going to merge to a stack. So if I got to make sure to merge these two together. This actually brings me to my next point. We're here. Let me just show you guys this one. Sync it up. We have this X-Copilot. It says waiting on Cyclone. Let me see real quick what it's doing. It looks like Vortex is still reviewing it. Okay, right, because this is a force push. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and I'll show you guys this page. We're still, so for the stacks, so this is the stacks page, you can see. This is from Mergestorm. We are working on the stacks dashboard. There's still a couple of small things we want to iron out, but it's kind of getting there, as you can see now. We're getting closer and closer to the architecture that we want. We're still dogfooding it. I think by the end of this week, it's going to be a lot better. Even by the end of today, every day we're doing a lot of tests and polishing all the little edge cases. Essentially, this stacks dashboard, it might not even be stacks anymore. It might just be the default dashboard because it just shows your open PRs. It lets you land PRs, manage stacks of PRs through our, we could integrate with GitHub stacks as well, but this is kind of like an extra feature we'll do once our own stack is done. Then we'll integrate it with GitHub stacks so that it can properly because our stacks are a little bit different. We're not just doing a normal stacks. It is kind of a normal stack, but it's branching off of a different branch. But anyway, this is a little bit beside the point. Well, I'll talk about this later in a different video as we kind of keep pushing this. But for now, we have these two stacks here. This is a single PR stack. That's maybe not even a stack because it's off of main. But the minimum viable stack, essentially, with a review unit, is going to be a 2 PR stack right here. We have a review unit and we have the PR stack. So it does say waiting on Cyclone. We were doing a bunch of restarts, and it's kind of unsynced right now. So we're going to figure this out later. For now, I'm going to show you guys, even if it's waiting on something, if you actually look at the PRs, the way to do these stacks, you open the stacks with the MG CLI. And as you can see, what you want to do, Mergestorm Vortex, it gave the hooray. I believe it's just because it doesn't want to review this. I can try again, but there might not be any new items, you see, because we've already patched this. So we're just going to merge this. It's not even a huge PR, and this is just a small thing. So the way to do this, you click promote. There's a couple of other options here, but the main thing for the stacks, yeah, the CI, the CI needs to be fixed. So we're not going to be able to promote this manually. We're going to have to fix this. So this is just the interaction activity and a small front end polish. So let me think about this. We could do this. We could merge this manually. So I know we're kind of messing around with the stacks. I don't really want to spend too much time on this in this video, in this live stream. I don't really want to spend it. This is just front end, and this is activity stats bucketing API. This is for stats, kind of like a gamified version. We can kind of leave it for a little bit later. It's not a blocker right now because we're just doing a couple of front end stuff. I'm mostly interested since this is just front end stuff. Let's try to get some back end stuff going. So again, these are old threads 17 hours ago. Let's go ahead and start a new scout so we can try to look for new threads and see how we're doing. Just the core function of this, because these other PRs, we're going to polish it up properly and fix any bugs on Mergestorm side for the stacks. But for now, let's just focus on the X-Copilot. So again, the way it works is it's a bucketing approach. So the first bucket, it just searches for 20 candidate threads according to some criteria that does not involve LLMs. Makes it super cheap. After that, it's going to find some cool threads. So as you can see here, it found 8 cool threads out of a total of 20. So the goal is 20 cool threads each total. So because it only found 8, it's going to go ahead and find more candidates, found 13 out of 20, 20 out of 20. Now it has the 8 out of 10 threads, but now it's going to go ahead and score the additional 20. So now we have 17, and now it's going to run one more time. But we can just stop it early as well. And because we don't really need, we can lower, again, if you wanted to lower the amount of cool threads to search for, here you can just set it to 10, for example. You can save it. And this will make it so that it doesn't need to loop so many times. You might do a loop once or twice. But anyway, this is the core function of this product. Yes, we might have activity dashboards and we're going to have some cool stuff. But this is a separate. Let's focus on the core product. So let's just look at a random thread. Here's the first one. It's marked as informative reply. So each thread kind of gets a tag almost in a way. So informative reply, let's go ahead and open on X and see what this is, if this is a good thing. So interesting. Fog cameras have made the streets an open air prison. Okay, so this guy is kind of sharing something. He's sharing. He's not doing engagement bait, which I'm happy with. He's sharing some interested opinion with an image. It looks like a nice post, and we have someone that actually interacts with it. And they said they're building a travel diary, follow your movements, car, bike, person, passengers, travel direction. Yeah. So again, this is one of those things. Yeah, where they're installing these cameras. The flood camera is just the new age surveillance. Yeah, and this is, how do I say this? It's not necessarily on point. It has nothing to do with AI. It has nothing to do with SaaS. Just because he says AI data, actually does have something to do with AI. So maybe it is somewhat relevant, but it's not really relevant to AI, builders building AI tools. Well, it might be, but it's a little bit more general, So I'm not sure. The good news is it's really new. So if you interact with it, we might get some views. So the other cool thing is rather than replying to this, we can also reply to the original, but it's always better to interact with the replier because we're more likely to get more engagement. So, read car, bike, passenger, travel direction, travel speed, travel diary of your movements. Right. I might just say, yeah, there's no, it's unfortunate there's no, we don't have an option anymore. Like, we don't have a choice anymore. It's just, this is the reality. No longer choice. Yep, I mean, this is just, I could just kind of, it's a little bit on the iffy side in terms of, it's not really too related, but it's decent. It's decent. So let's just check the pipeline again. We can just click mark as interacted. It'll automatically find your response and just click confirm, and it will save it in the interacted part. Again, for the memory, we do have influence from memory that does vector search, and it stores. It has a memory. I'll show you guys in Cursor. Let me show you guys for the memory part how it works. So if you go to Cursor and you have here under knowledge, this is not tracked. As you can see, it's grayed out. So this is not going to be in Git. Each person's knowledge is going to be separate, so your own memories. And it just has very simple 2 folders. It's very, very basic now. Only 2 folders with interactions and dismissals that you manually put. So this is dismissal. This one, Lisbon dinner. This was something about an event, and I said, the reason why I dismissed it, this is in regards to an event that we haven't attended and have no real reason to enter a thread. So this kind of allows us, so next time we find some sort of event, it'll be like, wait a second, we dismissed this. We're not going to surface it. So it allows for a little bit of fine-tuning and direction into the correct scope that you want. In the future, we're going to expand this so it's based on maybe months. So every month is going to have a separate folder, so it makes it a little bit easier to organize and maybe even adjust. So again, if you're using something like Obsidian to adjust this, all you have to do, all it does really is open this as a notepad. I mean, Obsidian is pretty much a notepad. I know some people are going to say there's some differences, blah, 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 but at the end of the day, you're still just looking through empty files and adjusting them. So this is literally it. This is the memory. This is the durable memory, and we have mini LM, which is a small LLM model that we run that does RAG vector search for the memories to find relevant memories relating to anything when it does the triage. So that's a very basic stuff about the memory I just wanted to go over. And so we do inject memory into the triage, so it actually finds threads a little bit better. So let's look at another thread. I'm trying to find like actual like gaps or actual issues. So this is, it's still kind of like iffy. It's not perfect, it's not bad, it's in the middle. So we just need to interact more and look at more items. So and this is another one, industry observation. A very interesting tag. I do like this. This is a lot more on point. This is very recent. So raising 30 million using AI. This is a little bit of a funny post, looks like. And he says, while that AI made building 10x cheaper and rounds got bigger, not smaller. Right. I think I have a good thing to say here. I could say, yeah, exactly. Just because building is solved doesn't mean the full building is solved. So more weight leans. Let me see. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Building is solved. So more weight goes to distribution / other parts of the product. It's great to see rounds getting bigger. Our civilization is scaling on all fronts. Yeah, so this is again just it is agreeable. Bro, why does it think I'm in the UK? It keeps giving me UK spelling. And this is apparently incorrect. This must be some sort of Firefox issue. Anyway, so here it is in a response. It's just kind of a little bit agreeable, but also it's interesting. It's a really recent thread, and it's worth it. So we're just going to see if we can get any likes and comments. Another thing that this guy does, is as you see, so we're now interacted with this thread. We don't need to copy paste anything. We just go back here. We click mark as interacted, and it's going to do it. And one thing I wanted to add is I wanted to automatically figure out that it's interactive. Maybe run a poll or something, but it's still a little bit early for this. So as you can see, once you mark it as interactive, it's going to save it here, and it's going to save you the stats as well. 12 views, 13 views. The way it does the stats for your interactions, it will check the stats 1 hour after and 24 hours after. That's it. Only 2 snapshots. The reason is we can't just keep polling all your interactions. Plus, we're not using the API. Remember, we're using X session cookies. So you're not paying for any APIs. So we're trying to do everything as efficient as possible. So the views in 1 hour after and 24 hours. Now, why do we do this? We do this so that we can inject this back into the memory. So if you look at our cursor, if you look at the interactions, let's take a look at maybe one of the newer ones for August 4th, one of these. As you can see here, we have, I think we need to merge this in, but we should be storing the actual amount of views that we got and the actual amount of likes. Let me check the GitHub repo to see if maybe we still need to merge that part, or maybe it's an open issue that we should probably tackle now, because we definitely want these stats into, right, thread, pane, activity, dashboard, marked interaction, plus 124 views. Yeah, this is the enhancement. Let me check to see if we are actually handling this issue, if we have an open PR for this. We do have this PR stack for this, which we're going to close after. So after today, we're going to have the views go into the actual interactions. Okay, back to our actual threads. Let's go to the next one here. I'm going to close these other ones. Continue to work on our, so this one is, again, this guy's DoorDash co-founder, I guess. No, well, something like that. We built DoorDash CLI so people could push forward the boundaries of agentic commerce. Right, I remember hearing about DoorDash CLI. You guys remember hearing about DoorDash CLI? I was joking how you're too lazy to choose your own food. You're gonna have an AI agent order it for you. That's crazy. So anyway, what is this guy saying? Congrats on shipping it. The interesting hard part is this whole category of authorization boundary. An agent placing a real order needs a spend limit and confirmation step that lives outside the model's own reasoning. Man, I don't necessarily agree, but I don't want to like post something not agreeable and just cause issues. So the teams that get right early are the ones that scales for. But at the same time, it might be good to kind of respond with some sense, common sense. So he's talking about how the interesting part is this whole category is in this whole category is the authorization boundary. Right, but an agent placing a real order needs a spend limit and a confirmation step. I'm gonna throw in something weird. This is where crypto comes in. If agents are able to spend, if agents are, let's see, spending crypto for, it's much easier. If agents are spending crypto, it's much easier to create a spending limit / proper safeguards to prevent them from overspending. So I think I'm able to tie in crypto. I like it. This guy still seems like he's putting in some effort into a good response. So this seems decent. I do like this. This seems like a technical discussion, genuine questions. Mark has interacted. Another cool thing I'm thinking is I would like to make sure that we're also storing the tags of the conversation. I think this is important. Let's go ahead and go back to cursor. So we've done some dogfooding. We kind of understand. Okay, this seems like an interesting gap. I think is we should store the tag that we got. So as you see from every thread, there's a kind of tags of what it is. So we should also store the tag. Let me see if we are storing the tags. Are we on cursor? Yeah. In the interactions, maybe I refresh this so we get the new information here. Is it storing? Yeah, intent. See, informative reply. So we are storing the intent, which is very important because next time it sees this, so we don't need to